How's it going, man? How's it going?
It's going good, man. Another day, another day.
Another day. We're a little late. We apologize. We are busy guys, so schedules don't sometimes always line up for Sundays. But we're here.
But at least we're here, you know?
At least we're here. And like we said,
$1 short, but we're here.
Exactly. And like we said, we're not like, this is not, like, and our soul, like, pride. We love doing this, but we also have our jobs in life. So we do this.
For yourself, Keenan. This is my full-time gig.
This is your full-time gig.
This once a week is my full-time gig. Yeah.
Even though you don't know how to work any kind of social media platform right now.
Not at all. Not at all. It's not really working out so far. I am looking for additional work because, as you can imagine, 1 hour a week does not cover the bills.
Unfortunately. And I heard your Feet Finder account's just not doing too hot either.
Yeah, well, believe it or not, I don't have that good looking of feet. So.
Oh shit! All right, guys. Well, I hope you guys had a good holiday week. Had a good time with the family and watching, sports, football, basketball, whatever. Hope you guys had a good time. For this week, we are going to get into. I think we haven't done this yet, but we're gonna do some overrated, underrated players in our opinions. We're not stating like these guys are overall overrated or underrated, but in our eyes they are. And then we'll go on from there. I think with today's it's going to be a bunch of different things besides our last two things we've kind of like to do, but the first two things are new for the pod so far for the beginning of the season. So let's start. We're going to start with overrated players. Let's just go one each, back and forth. So let me hear yours, Brad.
So in no particular order, and this is kind of going off this season alone, right? Like we're not talking about forever, all time, legacy, none of that. We're talking about just kind of current time, what we got going on right now. Yep. Number one, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Kawhi Leonard. Everyone keeps talking about all off season how the Clippers were going to be this next level. They're going to win all, I got all these vets. They got all these role players. Kawhi's going to be healthy. Kawhi's played in 10 games, and they're 3-7 in those 10 games. Like, so he's not even not playing, but when he is playing, they're not winning, and so right now, overrated Kawhi Leonard, man.
Yep, I agree with you. I think a couple pods ago, I put him down as one of my players I was not impressed with due to his lack of ability.
Availability is the best ability.
Exactly. Kind of on that same route, like I said, no particular order. I'm going to throw a guy out there. I'm throwing out Trae Young. I think he's overrated right now.
I got him on my list too. He's on my list.
Yeah. Outside of his like 3-point shooting ability, and he brought the Hawks that one season in the deep playoff run. Really hasn't helped them out at all, right? And now he's been injured.
His 3-point shooting percentage this year, he's shooting 19% from three.
Yeah, exactly.
19. That's horrible.
And he brings. I know his assist numbers last season were decent, but we're not talking about last season. We're talking about this season. But his defense ability and being a defender. Like that team looks so much better right now without him that I think he'd be a good, like this is a big speculation, but I would trade him away for somebody else.
That team was the same thing. I don't even think that's a hot take, and we can talk about Trae Young's numbers being down. Granted, he's only played 5 games this year, so it's hard. Yeah. Anyone can have a bad 5-game stretch, especially to start the season. So won't be too hard on him there. But the big thing for me is that they're winning without him. They're 10-5 as of Sunday. I don't know. I mean, it's not my updated numbers here, so I don't know for sure what the updated record is. But they were 10-5 as of Sunday without Trae Young this season. That's a great record. That's enough for like top 3 in the East. Jalen Johnson's playing great. They have some really great defenders out there in Alexander Walker, Dyson Daniels. And so I really think that's the biggest thing for Trae Young being overrated is that he's been the franchise guy. He's not even around, and they're winning.
Yeah, exactly. I completely agree with you. And like I said, their defensive rating is crazy good right now with him off the court. So why not just keep it going? And they're putting up numbers too. I think I just saw last night. I think they put up 142 points without Trae Young.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like why do you need him at this point?
People forget too that Quinn Snyder's that head coach. He was the head coach of the Jazz when Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert kept taking those teams to the Western Conference Finals or deep in the playoff runs. Quinn Snyder's a great coach. Give him a team of some guys who are willing to play defense. Atlanta could be sneaky dangerous.
I agree with you. All right, give me your second guy or whatever.
Well, second's Trae Young, so I'll go ahead and let you give me your second guy.
Okay, second guy. This actually pains me to say this because you know how big a fan I am of him. De'Aaron Fox.
Interesting.
He's not living up to the hype of the contract he has in San Antonio. Is my biggest thing. He's got a big contract there in San Antonio, and that team already has two guards, in my opinion, with Harper and Castle, that can just take that team like deeper in the playoff run than De'Aaron Fox can. In my eyes, De'Aaron Fox is now a 6-man on that team.
Interesting. Okay.
That's and I just think he's very overrated right now.
I will honestly tell you, I am surprised.
Yeah,
I wholeheartedly disagree with you, which is also surprising. So
yeah,
right.
That's fair.
All right. Well, my last overrated guy I got right now also pains me to say because I'm a fan. LaMelo Ball.
Okay. Yeah.
LaMelo Ball has been disappointing, man. He's one of those kind of like he gives me nostalgia vibes of like Penny Hardaway. You know, like this is really long point guard that can shoot, flashy passes, athletic. You know. But even when he's played this year, which again, availability is the best ability. He's not healthy, but he's played terrible this year. He's shooting pretty much across the board of almost every stat. He's got career lows in right now.
Yeah. He's actually down further on my list than one of our other categories, just because.
Yeah, so he's overrated right now. They're talking about, what can they get for him in a trade? He's got a huge contract and he's not playing well. What are you going to get? I mean, they're talking about like on Bleacher Report, I see 2 firsts and this young guy and this star player. And I'm like, who's going to give that up for this guy? He's playing like 30 games a year and his stats don't look good right now.
I completely agree with you. My last guy on the list, I've hopped off this team's train. They are not going to do anything. This player is Zion Williamson.
Yes. What?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad you finally came off the train.
Yeah.
Hard turn. There wasn't even like a slight break in confidence of like,
no,
I don't know, maybe it'll just kind of be a middle team. No, you went from being they still got a chance, baby, to being no.
Yeah. He can't stay healthy. He can't stay healthy. And when he's healthy enough, he isn't that centerpiece for a team that I think the Pelicans were hoping for that could lead them to more wins. Because the way I look at Zion is he's a guy that'd be a difference maker on a team, right? He should be leading them to a better record than 50. I think he should, like, as a good of a player he is, they should. I mean, I don't think they should be like above 500 team, but they should be maybe 10 to 15 or something in that realm, right? Or whatever it may be, or 10 and whatever, right? Like they should be able at least close to 500 with Zion's talent, but I think he's overrated as shit, honestly.
Yeah, which is also crazy to hear you say. Zion, I think, is overrated from the standpoint of what he should have, the hype he had coming in as number 1 overall pick. But what a change in heart for you on the Pelicans.
I know. Those are 2 painful things for me to say for overrated today. So
in 1 week, we went from being a Pelicans fan podcast to being a Pelicans hater podcast.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Hey, things change. People change.
I thought if they would have won more games this week, I would have maybe been on that train. So, but they didn't win a single game. So
yeah, there's a life lesson in here.
It is.
People change. That's all I want to say.
People do change. Yeah, exactly. All right. Cool.
So for underrated, I'm going to give you my first one because it coincides with what you were saying for your overrated. De'Aaron Fox. I got him as underrated right now.
Okay.
I'm on the complete opposite side of the spectrum there. I think he's played super well since coming back. He's increased his 3-point percentage, shooting pretty consistently from there. And the Spurs have quietly been one of the best teams in the West, even without Wembanyama.
It's fair.
I think a big part of that's De'Aaron Fox.
Okay, that's fair.
I love Castle. I love Harper. Castle has been playing the last few games. Fox has, and they're still winning. So I think Fox is underrated right now because the Spurs are sneaky good.
Okay. I think those are good. Both of our sides, good, very good points on. I think he's a very middle ground player right now. I think there's a lot of hype, but he's also playing decently well. So,
hey, a lot to be said about winning,
True. My first underrated player is, I'm going to murder his last name, but Santi Aldama.
Aldama?
Yeah, Aldama. Yes. Okay. Yes. Over his last 5 games, man, he's been averaging 17 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. I just think he's been a consistent good player for the Grizzlies. There's a lot of drama around the Grizzlies, with Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson and that kind of stuff. But he's a consistently good player that I don't think's talked enough about.
Yeah. Good call there. He's actually a solid role player there for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Improved a lot the last few years.
Yep.
My second underrated, thinking outside the box here, I'm not going player, I'm going coach. I talked about him a couple weeks ago. Erik Spoelstra, underrated. Miami Heat, looking good, man. Looking good. Tyler Hero's back. They're looking even better, but they're on like a record-setting pace for offense. They are just running guns, scoring a ton of points. Erik Spoelstra just keeps adapting with almost nothing. Like it's literally a bunch of undrafted guys every year. Yeah, Erik Spoelstra, underrated.
It's crazy to see his different, and like I think he is the best coach that adapts to his team. Like there's teams will have that are like really good defensive teams, and so he adapts to that. So it's like low scoring games, grinding them out games. But then he gets with players that are just offensive, there's a threat, and he's like, okay, we'll change our game plan to this.
Yeah,
and he just runs it. Like I don't see anybody else changing their game plan when it comes to the players they have. And these other coaches are getting like first round draft pick talents, like Hall of Fame talents, this kind of stuff. And Erik Spoelstra is just like, all right, we're gonna run some undrafted dudes, some fucking YMCA dads, and we're gonna freaking just run the court.
Dude, Erik Spoelstra, I'm convinced he could throw you and I on the court and win games somehow. Like he just knows how to get the absolute most out of every single player on that team. Like Davion Mitchell this year is a top 10 player in assists. Yeah. Who would have thought?
Yeah. No, I agree with you. My second, again, I'm going to murder his last name as well. Probably his first name too, because I'm not very good at this kind of stuff. But Ayo Dosunmu.
I don't know on that one.
Okay, he's a guard for the Chicago Bulls.
No, I know. I don't know how to say his last name, to be honest.
Yeah, either do I. So I think I'm probably completely off, or I could really be straight, like right on the dot.
Nailed it.
Over the last 5 games, he's been averaging 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 2.5 assists. With that, and I think we've talked about this Bulls team. This Bulls team is deep with young, good talent with Giddey and PW, and like these guys are just balling up, and they're young. And I think Chicago's got a bright future ahead of them when they keep on drafting good guys and the talent they have. So I think he's a very underrated player, because I don't think he's talked about, because with Giddey and Kobe White and those kind of guys, I think he's just kind of overshadowed.
Yeah. Look at you. So now we've switched from the New Orleans Pelicans to being what I've been doing, becoming a Chicago Bulls podcast.
Yeah.
I like it. Look at that. See,
look at us.
Follow me. I'm always right. My last underrated guy so far this year, I've got Scottie Barnes.
Good pick. Yeah, good pick.
Scottie Barnes has been playing great this year. He's quietly been pretty great his whole career, at least solid. He hasn't been a bad player by any means. He's been even better this year. And one of the biggest things that's been an issue with Scottie Barnes in his career is not being able to be a shooter. And that was an issue coming into the season, was thinking you got all these wings. None of them really shoot threes. They're all kind of more playmakers. You got Ingram, Barrett, him, all kind of the same player. Barnes is shooting 40% from 3 this year. That's an elite 3-point percentage. Like he's just dramatically became a 3-point shooter somehow over the summer. And they're doing great. The Raptors are really solid this year.
The Raptors look good. Ingram's healthy. Like they look good this year. They look really good this year.
Yeah. Scottie Barnes.
My last guy. This team. I think you talked about this team. This team doesn't. You don't think they really they don't scream at you. They're not going to be a good team in the playoffs. But I have Jarrett Allen in here. With the Cavaliers. The reason why I want to shout him out just because I'm not going to give you really any kind of stats besides there was one game where he had 30 points and 14 rebounds, but I feel like he's the only traditional center left in the league, kind of.
Okay.
And he's playing really well in that role. He's not stretch 5 big. He's not going to hit the 3. And I think he's put up really good, consistent numbers, and he fits that role in Cleveland. So I'm going to give him his flowers. And I think he's playing really well, and he's not really talked about on that team because you have Evan Mobley and Donovan Mitchell and those kind of guys on that squad. So
it's interesting that you would say he's the last true center in the NBA when you got Zubac, you got Walker Kessler, you still have Rudy Gobert.
Yeah, but Walker Kessler, I've seen he stretches the floor out though. He will hit the 3 ball.
Kessler, sure. Well, okay, that's true. This year he did start hitting the trade.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I mean, Zubac is still a traditional center.
Derek Lively.
Yeah, but I think Jarrett Allen's better than Derek Lively though.
Yeah, I'd agree with you.
Yeah, I think Jarrett Allen and Zubac are about on the same playing field. I'd have Zubac over Allen though if I had to pick.
I would too. Better offense. Better
Yeah.
offense.
Yep. Good list though. Good list. Cool.
So next one we got, I guess this is a newer one too. We're gonna do our biggest surprises and our biggest disappointments so far of the year.
Yes. Let me just kind of piggyback off of your Scotty Barnes here. My biggest surprise is the Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, they're my number one too. They're my number one surprise right now.
Yeah, it's I don't think either of us had them as a playoff lock team. I think they were a play-in team.
Mm-hmm.
If I can remember correctly.
I believe so.
They're right now, they're 14-5, and you have the team being led by two really good scorers in Brandon Ingram and Scotty Barnes.
Yeah.
And there's a lot more other players on that team that are picking up the slack and when needed, but they look really good.
Yeah. They would say Emmanuel Quickly's playing well, Jakob Poeltl's playing well. Really, I think the big surprise is that everyone through the offseason was making fun of the Raptors for acquiring Brandon Ingram, because now you're like, you got three of the same wings. Like, you need some sort of like variation in the guys that you have on your team, right?
Yeah.
Who would have thought that these three guys plus a non-shooting big and Emmanuel Quickly would lead to being second seed in the East? You know, they're doing great. And the East is more competitive this year than expected too.
Yeah. And I think we also got to give it, like, RJ Barrett's playing well too. You know, like they have a really good deep team that are big players in their position, and they can still score. And they're overall like good. You know, they're good at defense. They're good at offense. Like, they're just an overall good team. And I think they're going to make a good push in the playoffs, honestly.
Yeah, it's a good one. So that's basically my first one too. Yeah. So do you want to give me your second one?
Sure. My second one, it might be your second one too, honestly, is the Phoenix Suns.
Hey, they're on my list too.
With the low preseason expectations, even you and I, we both thought they'd win. Like, maybe they'd be. In my eyes, I thought they'd be where the Pelicans are at, 3-15, not a good team. But Jalen Green's playing great, and Devin Booker's playing great, and like they're playing great basketball right now. So
Dylan Brooks is playing great. Like,
Dylan Brooks is playing great.
Game for the season, which is insane. Grayson Allen's playing great. I didn't expect them to be, I don't think, terrible where the Pelicans are at, but I definitely didn't expect them to be with a winning record a quarter of the way through the season.
Yeah.
You know, the West is, again, very competitive. Obviously very cutthroat at the top, but as of right now, they're seventh in the West. And they beat the Lakers last night.
I did see that. Yeah, and the Lakers look really good too. So that's a good win for them.
That's a great win. Lakers are number 2 team in the West. So my last surprise, I'll go first just in case you also have it, so I can say one. I got the San Antonio Spurs.
I don't have them, but go ahead.
I'll talk about them a little bit with De'Aaron Fox, of course, but I'm very impressed with them. Not only have they been a playoff team, as of Sunday they were 5th in the West, but they're winning without Wemby. They have like a 5-1 record without Wemby. That's awesome. You know, like what team? No one would have expected the Spurs to really do anything without Wembanyama on the floor. So the fact that they're having not only a winning record but dominating without him, small sample size, but still, it's a great sign for when your superstar's out.
Yeah, no, I agree with you completely. They look really, really good. Honestly, I don't think when Wemby gets healthy, they're going to be a threat to the Nuggets. I don't think anyone is threatening OKC. I think OKC might repeat. Honestly,
they've lost one game all season. I don't think it's.
Yeah, they're going to repeat.
They might be the championship for the next 7 years. I don't know.
They might be the new dynasty forming.
They got the Clippers' first round pick this year. Do you know that?
Yeah, I did know that. Yep.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. All right, what you got for your last surprise?
My last one might come as a surprise to you, but I have the Houston Rockets. Just because of them losing Fred VanVleet early in the season, I didn't think they would be as good as they are, like passing the ball. But Reece Shepherd has filled that role for that team, and he's playing really well. And now that they look really, really good. They have one of the best offensive rebounding percentage, and they're shooting at a high efficiency right now. So good on them.
Reece Shepherd was one of my preseason picks of guys to watch this year. So
he was. I think like Sengun's coming around, like he's playing really well. The other young guys they have, Kevin Durant's Kevin Durant, but like you talked about earlier in the other pods before, Kevin Durant's assuming that role of that old head, kind of like just there when they need a good bucket and some good efficient scoring, and he's not out there trying to put up 30, 10 and 10 or 30, 5 and whatever, right? He's just there to shoot the ball and put up 18, 19 points. If they need him to score 30, I bet you he could, but he's not assuming that role as the star on that team.
Well, he's assuming the role of like lead scorer. I think he's still scoring like 26, 27 a game, so he's still like leading the team in scoring, but it's not in a way where he also has to run the offense through him. It's where you have Sengun running the offense. You have Amin Thompson running pick and rolls, and he's out there in a corner 3. Like he gets to play the role of, I'm just going to snipe shots, and you guys can run the offense, play hard on defense. I don't have to worry about that side either, So it's perfect for where he's at right now. He's still an incredible scorer. And so I'm not really surprised by that. I figured they would figure it out. Early in the season, I hated the huge lineup they were trying to run, but they've kind of figured out that too, how to run with either Reed Shepherd at point guard or Thompson.
Yeah, I even say like kind of KD is in that role as he kind of was on the Warriors when he was with the Warriors, where I mean he was more defensive. They needed him more on defense on that team because they didn't really have a defensive threat besides Draymond Green. But on that team, he just was there to, shoot the basket, pass, rebound. But he wasn't like he had Curry, he had Clay, like he had people there that could score, just not him. And now he's the same thing with the Rockets. Like those guys are putting up numbers. He's just like, okay, I'll just shoot and have a good time.
Yeah, I'm saying Rockets look good too. They kind of figured it out.
So, yeah. Cool.
Biggest disappointments.
So who do you have first?
My first one, based off of not really my own opinion and expectations of them this year, but based off of the hype and what everyone's been talking crazy all summer about being title favorites or going deep in the playoffs, the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah.
Trash.
I have them on my list.
Very disappointed, And for me, I expected this. I'm not sure how anyone who really was looking at the NBA landscape was like, oh, this team's going to win a lot of games in year one. It's just constructed so poorly. There's no point guard on that team, really. Cooper Flag is a traditional forward, not a point guard, 18 years old, trying to adjust to NBA speed in a different position. Anthony Davis is injured. Like, there's so much stuff going on there that there just never should have been the hype to begin with. But because there was, they're disappointed.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And I think D'Lo was on my list, I think, as one, like, he's surprising or he was balling out. He's significantly dropped off. He's not playing well anymore. AD, I think, came back for the Lakers game and wasn't really like that crazy good.
Right.
They don't look good at all. Like I said, I think it's time to clean house. But how do you clean house with an expensive ass roster with Kyrie and AD? You really can't.
No, you just got to do your best,
Yeah. My number one on the list, I think they had a lot of hype coming in this season after they figured out they're signing with this player, but it's the Golden State Warriors. Jimmy Butler even said it in a post conference or the post game interview was they let everyone score on them, like everybody score. They are letting anyone put up career high numbers against them. They don't have the offensive threat outside of Curry. They just don't look good at all right now. I think they're 10-10 or 11-10 or something like that. Last time I checked, I'd be surprised if they sneak into a play-in game at this point.
See, and I know it's a disappointment for you, but for me, exactly what I expected. Beginning of the year, I told you, I'm like, they're too old. They're not going to be able to run too many games. Curry is going to have fantastic stretches, but he's just not – he can't do that anymore. He's 37, 38 years old,
Mm-hmm.
So this is kind of exactly what I expected from the Warriors. But to be honest, this is also kind of what I expected from the Clippers, who is my next big disappointment is the LA Clippers. Because exactly what the Warriors are doing is kind of what I expected from the Clippers. Everyone else expected title favorites, again, kind of like the Mavericks, talking all this crazy over the summer. They're one of the worst teams in the league. Like, they are just horrendous. They're getting beat down by a lot of not great teams.
Yeah, I mean, I think I put that as one of my overreactions. One of our first podcasts was that they weren't going to make the playoffs at all.
Yeah,
the Clippers. So I agree with you. They don't look good at all. I mean, James Harden's having a great season, but outside of that, they're not playing well.
Yeah, James Harden's playing great, but also we saw like Bradley Beal in Washington. You can put up a whole bunch of empty stats on a bad team. Doesn't mean that you're still going to impact winning.
Exactly. No, exactly. My second team on here, and I guess because you already said my third team, my second team on here is just the sole fact of a certain reason, or the certain last part of my thing is the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think coming off a 64-win season last year, if they don't go to the finals this year, it's a disappointment. it's a major disappointment.
So the Cavaliers are also my third disappointment of the year. They've been hovering around like the 6th seed in the East. Now, granted, again, East is more competitive than it was before.
Yeah.
In previous years, more competitive than expected. But like you said, this is a team that kind of was expected to be the OKC Thunder of the East. They were expected to kind of just clean house, run through, lose a couple games, win 60. Like it was kind of the expectation. They're 12-8 as of Sunday. And say that it's not a losing record. It's not you're not a terrible team. But there was just much higher expectations. And Donovan Mitchell scoring 30 points a game.
Yeah.
Like, who else on that team? Either they need to change the way they're running offense, make him do less, or someone needs to step up.
Yeah. Well, and I even have in there, they have the league's most expensive roster right now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
They you got Mobley, Mitchell, Garland, Allen. Like, you got some expensive guys there. Even Sam Merrill, I think, is on a $15 million deal or something.
Yep. And I've even seen things where like Evan Mobley hasn't got any better offensively. He's been just the same. Like he hasn't got better at shooting the ball. He hasn't got better at like scoring buckets. Like he's been averaging the same numbers pretty consistently. And that's a disappointment I've seen a lot of like with like the fan base and like people like over in Cleveland is he's just not excelling. Like he looked good last year, but he should be even better this year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm with you there. So all right, that brings us to overreactions.
Yes. I'm gonna hop on the train since this podcast is now on this train. Is that my first overreaction is the Bulls have the best young backcourt in the NBA.
Oh, hard disagree. Who are you considering in the backcourt? Josh Giddey and Kobe White,
and then AO. Yeah. I said. But I said best young backcourt.
What does young mean? What is young?
Like young players. I mean, like not like past like 28, 29.
And you choose them over Luka. These lights just turned on. Over Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves. Both also under that. You're insane.
That's my overreaction for the week.
You are insane, dude. Luka and Austin Reeves are both top 10 in scoring, borderline top 5. They're both a complete all-stars. Second team, this is insanity. That is an overreaction.
It is an overreaction.
It's a terrible overreaction. I didn't believe that. You're just saying that to piss me off.
I had to make them a little bit more crazy because last week they were pretty just So this week they're a little bit mild. So they're gonna I'm coming in hot this week.
I'm hot about that one. All right. Well, my overreaction this week. First one, the Raptors are now the best team in the East.
Over the Detroit Pistons.
The Raptors are now best team in the East, yeah.
Wow. I don't agree with that at all. See, I don't agree with that at all.
Yeah. And if you would ask me if I really agree with that, I don't know. But overreacting just based off the way I've seen play lately, absolutely. They look great. Which I think my overreaction last week was that the Pistons are the best team in the league.
Yeah.
So, as you can see, feelings change. Each week stuff goes on. But
people change.
But more of my shout out is just the fact that the Raptors are damn good right now. Like they're legitimately good.
That's fair. My second overreaction, I told you I'm coming in hot. My second overreaction is the Rockets are going to regret moving on from Jalen Green and signing old KD.
Oh, really? After all that praise you just gave KD about being such a great compliment on that team, how great they are, you think they'd be better off with Jalen Green?
I think Jalen Green has more. I want to say upside at his age right now, right? Like KD is KD. We all know KD is probably one of the best scorers we've ever seen at his height, like that kind of stuff. One of the best overall basketball players. But for youth and longevity, I think they're going to regret moving on from Jalen Green.
I mean, but would you rather have like a good scorer for 7 years or an elite scorer for 2 or 3 years?
I guess we'll see if they make a playoff push in the next couple of years.
We'll see. That's fair though. My reaction number 2 is that this might not be an overreaction. It might just be common sense, but the Hawks and Grizzlies should trade point guards like immediately.
That's fair, actually.
Trae Young, Ja Morant, straight up, straight across, no draft picks, just straight up. Trae Young, Ja Morant. You rarely ever see a player-for-player trade mano-a-mano like that, but it's a win-win for both. Give them both a change of scenery. They both still need point guards. Give them a different style of point guards. Ja Morant's more of a slasher, sets you up a little bit, just offers a different dynamic to that team. and Trae Young offers something different to Memphis. But they both need a change of scenery. Just swap them straight up.
Oh, I actually don't disagree with that at all, honestly. I think that's a good take.
Thank you.
It's a good take. My last one, again, coming in hot. Cooper Flag is giving me Andrew Wiggins and Zion Williamson vibes, or he's not going to live up to the hype out of college. He's showing great games, but I don't think he's going to live up to the hype he had in college.
Who was the last player that did live up to that hype?
LeBron James, probably.
Isn't that crazy?
That or I even say maybe Curry.
But Curry didn't have the hype coming out of college.
He had the NCAA tournament. That was it.
It was a great tournament, but he still got drafted like 9th, had weak ankles. Johnny Flynn was drafted over him. Like there wasn't that much hype. Andrew Wiggins was one of those guys. Zion Williamson, Cooper, of course. Like every few years, there's one of these guys that is just like, even Anthony Bennett at one point, they were like, is he the next? Like, no, he was like the worst first overall pick ever, right?
Yeah.
But so I would agree with you. Unfortunately, it's an overreaction. I think Cooper Flag he's so young. That's his one thing, is he's 18 years old and he's still putting up, tons of time to develop. But I think there was just so much expectation for him to be better right away.
Yeah, and I think with like these players too, it's like you draft the Andrew Wiggins or the Zion Williamson, like as LeBron was, and LeBron changed the atmosphere and the culture in Cleveland, and brought them to a playoff with nobody on that team.
Yeah. And
you draft these guys thinking they can do the same thing and hoping they do the same thing with the same hype they had from as LeBron did, and that's not happening.
And it's always tough to compare people to somebody who's my go and should be everybody's go. But that is something I think that is an unfair expectation. We talk about who lived up to the hype. LeBron not only had the hype of being like the chosen one, the next Michael Jordan, was expected to win 10 championships at age like 15, absurd, before social media, like it was absurd. And he still came in game 1 and made Cleveland a playoff team basically overnight. Like that's such an unrealistic expectation to hold someone to, but it also just shows how great he really was.
Very true. Very true.
My last overreaction here. Orlando Magic are back to being a number 2 seed in the East. They're on track, baby. They're on track. They're off to a slow start, but they're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're looking good.
They do look good. They're finally starting to pick it up. Desmond Bane actually looks decent now. He's actually scoring the rock. He looks better than he did the first couple weeks. Looks like they're actually picking it up. So I would actually agree with you on that. I don't know if they'll be number 2 seed. I think it's to my understanding, I think it's going to be Detroit and Toronto, so it might be a 3 or 4.
Well, I do have a prediction that my overreaction about Toronto will phase out pretty quickly, but my early prediction of the season was that the Magic would be the 2 seed in the East, so they're showing signs of it now. So hopefully they can keep that up. Feeling good about that.
That's fair. Those were hot. I had to come back with some heat, man. I had to, because last week was very, very bland.
It was, dude. Let's say like hot takes, more like room temperature opinions, like
lukewarm takes is what they were.
Yeah, and gross. Lukewarm anything is just
horrible.
Like, who's Luke?
Yeah, nobody. I don't know anybody named Luke, honestly.
How warm is he? I don't know.
Perfect. All right. Well, that takes us to our airball take of the week. Again, we have fun doing this one. What's your airball?
Somehow, for 2 consecutive weeks, even though he's not even in the NBA anymore, Nico Harrison is yet again my airball of the week. This guy, it just keeps getting worse. Like, he's not even a part of the Mavericks organization. He got fired. Like, he's had the worst tenure as a GM, like over a 6-month course of any sport, maybe ever.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting worse, man. And say the whole thing now that like AD might get traded. Like, you traded you traded Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
For AD and a first-round pick. The first-round pick now is horrible because the Lakers look fantastic for probably years to come because you got Doncic. And now they're going to trade Anthony Davis, and they're going to get pennies on the dollar for him. So somehow Nico Harrison continues to keep losing.
Yeah, I've even seen things that they're even looking at trading like Daniel Gafford, and like they're looking to like clean house. So,
well, you have to. When you trade away a guy like Luka Doncic, like you got to tear it down, build around Cooper Flag, which should have been the plan anyways.
100%.
But Nico Harrison somehow keeps losing.
Yeah, he keeps on losing. My airball of the week is the NBA All-Star Game, trying to copy the NHL. I don't know if the NHL, they have like a bunch of mini games, and then they have like a USA team, and then like a rising star, I think, and then like a world team.
Mm-hmm.
the NBA is trying to copy that because they saw how much success the NHL had.
How long has the NHL been doing that?
For a little bit.
Started doing this last year.
Well, no, the NHL did it last year, but the NBA that's their all-star game. It's not going to be like you draft players. It's going to be like an all-world team, like Giannis, those guys that are from overseas, and then you have like a USA team, and I believe it's like a Rising Star USA team too, or something like that. They're gonna have 3 different teams playing. If I'm not mistaken, I might be wrong on that, but I know the first 2 are right. But just like I know they're trying to copy the NHL, but like the NBA All-Star Game, just in general, is an airball. I don't think the players care about it. You add you've added incentives like the team that wins, and then you put a point cap on it, and it's just their viewership's down. No one watches the All-Star Game anymore. It's pretty bad.
The All-Star Game, I would agree with you in general, is an airball, but mostly because of what you're saying there is that no one watches it. It's not competitive, But that's true amongst most All-Star Games, I think. The MLB All-Star Game is the only one that actually has some sort of like real incentive.
Well, that one in NHL, because last year in the finals, it was Canada versus USA. And it was, they had it's like a 2-game series or something like that, right? And so they went to Canada the first time, and the Canada team booed during the national anthem for the USA team. Mm. And the USA team came out and won that game. So that brings viewership.
Right.
There was no animosity. I have no animosity towards any nation out there, but if you're going to boo someone's national anthem, that team's going to come out and play. And that's going to bring viewership from different teams. And I think the atmosphere in the NHL is just different in general versus NBA. You have freaking grown men
slapping the glass and stuff like that, it's a different thing there. But I just want the guys to compete is really all it is. It's like you watch the NBA because you want to watch the best basketball players in the world play against the other best basketball players in the world. And so when you take the best of the best, put the 10 best guys in the world at what they do on a court, you want to watch them compete at the highest level. You don't want to watch them just kind of Harlem Globetrot their way around the court. You know what I mean? I want to watch LeBron go 100% versus Luka Doncic or whatever. You want to see the best at a high level.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. And I saw even completely different sport, but Joe Burrow came back and played this weekend for the Bengals, and they're asking him why he came back when their team's 2-8, and he's like, I get paid to play a child's game and to have fun. Why not come out here and play?
Yeah.
And it's it goes the same for these NBA players. They're no, I don't loaded management. I don't want to play. It's do you come out here? I get it. I take days off work too. We have PTO. I get that completely. But you're coming out there to play a game, a sport that you love, that anyone would. I'd give up my entire life to go play that. Just go out there and play it.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's still a job, and I think we all got to keep that perspective. They're still humans. They're still people. They just happen to do a different profession than anybody else. But I agree with you. I think the one difference is that they're getting paid tens of millions of dollars to do that. You should, granted, injury, and things like that for sure. But a matter of just go out there and play. You know what I mean? You got a limited amount of time to do this anyway. Go out there and compete for the people that help pay for your paycheck.
Exactly. Nope, I agree. Good pod. I liked it. It was fun. I hope everybody enjoyed it. If you guys have if we missed anybody, I say every week, we miss anybody, just let us know in the comments. Apologize that there was no clips or anything on our socials this week. Kind of just stayed off of those because it was Thanksgiving week and that kind of stuff. Just hung out with the family and enjoyed that time. But there will be some clips this week for sure. Anything you got for the fans out there, Brad?
Thanks for surviving 1 week without us. We appreciate you going through that real long, hard, cold winter of 8 days without hearing our voices. Hopefully you went back and watched the other old podcasts just to kind of get a little something,
A little love, yeah.
I appreciate you guys watching, tune in next week.
Yep. All right, guys. Catch you later.